Mae'Govannen, my Elven Brothers and Sisters, and today I would like to actually start a new series, and this series will be called Elven Living, and today we're going to start it with what is an elf exactly. So the Elven Living series is basically how we can live as an elven child today in today's world. What can we do to more manifest that in our lives? And so the Elven Living series will be about things that we can do in that nature. Today we're going to start off with one of the most classic topics I know of, and that is, what is an elf exactly? It's kind of interesting. It's the same kind of question that you'd often get when you're a vegan. Well, where do you get your protein from? Okay, so most vegans who hear this will know how often we hear that question. Well, it goes the same with an elf. What is an elf? So I'm going to talk about that for a little bit here. And this series here is going to actually start touching on a lot of the courses and give you little brief views into some of the courses we have in our Elven School Lambengolmor, the Elven School of Loremasters. There'll be links on it in the description below, but I want to kind of take some of what's in that school and let people see it in the videos. And we'll be talking about topics of manifestation and meditation. What do elves do nowadays, and what can we do to be more elven? All right, because one of the most important things is, if you want to be an elf, be an elf. Be one every day. Try to do something every day that is elven, and that's what we're going to do in this series, is talk about that. All right, so what is an elf exactly? I've been asked this question multiple times, and at times it was a little difficult to answer because of people's preconceived notions on what is an elf. All right, elves, the actual term goes back thousands of years. The word elf, or plural elves, was meant to be originally a human-like supernatural being. Then this was mentioned in Germanic mythology. It actually meant white being, is what they said back then. They were considered beings with magical powers and supernatural beauty, ambivalent, didn't really care about most other people, and were either capable of helping or hindering them. But however, these details of these beliefs have varied considerably over time and space, and have flourished in both pre-Christian and Christian cultures. So thousands of years ago, we were considered supernatural beings, and we would either help or hinder you, or just didn't care. All right. Before Christianity, elves were considered gods, beings that were close to gods. Not gods, but close to gods, powerful, magical, and not to be messed with. And then Christianity came along and took that and turned elves into demons, all right, and devils and things of that nature. Okay, let's go forward a few thousand years, and then Disney gets hold of elves, and we know pretty much what happened there. It turned elves into diminutive, little tiny cartoon creatures, and then eventually the Tales of Santa Claus came along and put us in candy corn costumes. All right, and then finally, in the 1900s, came a very wonderful man, and that was J.R.R. Tolkien. Being a classic historian, he read into a lot of books that people weren't even aware that they existed deep down in the vaults of Oxford and so forth. And he tried to bring the definition for an elf back to its original meaning thousands of years ago. But to be honest, he didn't even like the term elf because of what had been done to it through Christianity, through Disney, and the Santa Claus stories and so forth. He didn't even like the term, but it was the closest he could get. So, according to Tolkien, and according to some of the most ancient beliefs, what is an elf? All right. Well, this actually, to answer that question, we have to go one step again over to a little bit, and that is about the meaning of life. I've talked about this before, and it's apropos here to describe us, because you understand the meaning of life, you'll understand much more about what is an elf. All right. As I described in previous videos, Edgar Cayce considered, when he actually answered, one of the most oldest questions of all time, and that is, what is the purpose of life? All right, because too many, especially nowadays, you see with the coronavirus fears, and you see with the economic collapse, and these are just one of many that have been going on for thousands of years, fears, and people, the least amount of information you have on what life is about, the less you know about how sacred life is, the easier it is for you to make decisions based on fear. But if you really understand what life is about and understand what the purpose of life, that alone bestows hope to you, and hope diminishes fear. All right, so Edgar Cayce answered it one time, because I wrote a book on Edgar Cayce's medical protocols many years ago, and it gave me the opportunity for about 2.5 years to I actually lived across the street from the Edgar Cayce Institute, and I was paid full-time for about 2.5 years to sit there and go through all of his readings and write about his medical protocols. But of course, while I'm going through all those, I'm also reading such other wonderful things. And I came across when he was in a trance state one time, and somebody asked him, what is the purpose of life? Best definition I've ever heard. I never forgot it when I read that. His answer was the most clearly defined I've ever heard. Simply put, we are here as companionship to God, or as many elves know, we call God Eru, the One. We are simply companionship to God. God created all this wonderful universe and wanted to share it. And so we were created as companions to share this creation with God. Okay, this vast and wonderful universe that he created. All right, and it goes in one step further. Not only did he want the companionship, or she wanted the companionship, but also bestowed upon us, and this is where the definition for Elven comes from, bestowed upon us the gifts of co-creating, to actually be a part of creation, to co-create with Eru, with God, to bring beauty into this world, knowing that whatever we do comes through us from God, but we were created to be co-creators in this universe. So if one definition of elves could be given from my point of view, for me it would be that we have been given the gift to work within this creation in a balanced and centered manner, to continue to add beauty and to build on what Eru, or God, originally started. What an amazing creation. We were created to continue with the work that God created, to continue to create and add beauty to this universe. What more elven can you get? Okay, and what I'd like to do now is to explain a little bit more about that in greater detail, how this applies to us as the original design for elves. As elves, it is our place to make the world a paradise. How important that is with what's going on nowadays. One in which the laws of creation are able to be manifested in our everyday lives, rather than simply in stories and myths. We are here to bring the myths back into memory again, to bring them back alive again, to wake up the old myths. Alright, I do indeed believe that this is possible, and I have witnessed it personally in my life. Now, having said that, how do we do it in a manner that allows creation to express itself as it needs, and not simply as we believe that it should be? Alright? In other words, it's our job to co-create with this universe and bring the beauty out, but in a balanced manner. Too often man has destroyed whole forests and ecosystems purely because they thought that they knew better and could improve upon nature. We're not here for that. As elves, we know that we will not so much as improve upon nature, but enhance and allow its true potential to be revealed. That may be one of the best definitions of manifestation. And this is a part of the course that I have on Lambengolmor, the Elven School, is a course on manifestation and on meditation and how we can manifest. In manifestation, we know that there's, I've described this before in other videos, there are 4 levels of manifestation. What I'm talking about now is truly the Elven level, the level 4, to when we allow the universe to work through us, to bring out its true potential. Not to manipulate it, not to force it, but to allow it the freedom to express itself in a manner that is the potential that it was made to be. For many of us that know the stories of Tolkien's The Silmarillion, of the beginning of creation itself, we know that Arda, the world and the solar system, so to speak, There was a set design for it, and then it was corrupted. And so now it's what's called Ardamard. Okay, it's damaged, it's hurt. Okay, and it was always known that part of the Elven design was to bring it from Ardamard to Arda healed. That's our job, is to heal the world and to bring out the true potential that it was meant to have when the song was first sung in the beginning of the universe. We are to help bring that song back into its full potential. Alright, so again, that may be one of the best definitions of manifestation, to simply allow the true potential of the time or situation or the individual to be brought forth into fruition, to let it become what it was always meant to be, and that is within our power, given to us through Eru, through God. Okay, I love, along with Tolkien and all the other stories, I love the Dark Crystal. And the Dark Crystal has a whole series of books out now on the Age of Resistance and so forth. And it actually is apropos, it actually fits us. There's a wonderful phrase in there. So you can take a few of the words out and exchange it. But this is a definition of what it was given to be a Gelfling. Elfling. Alright. And in their world is called Thra. So just think about that in place of Arda. The gifts of Thra were to be shared with Thra and one another, to unite what was once fractured, to heal what was ailing, to save what was corrupt, to mend what had been broken apart, to protect what was most important. That was the key to awakening those gifts. It was all part of the same cycle, the same web that connected the Gelfling to Thra and to one another. That's what an elf is. We are here to heal, to use the gifts, the magic, Sarina, that Eru gave us to help heal the world and to help create new beauty and to bring the song back into balance and let Arda become what it was meant to be, to allow its true potential, and everyone else to allow them to grow and become what they were meant to be. Alright, it is time to return to our destiny as we see what's going on in the world. It's time to wake up. It's time to return to our destiny, to always seek for balance in the universe. And that is probably one of the biggest keys. We want to heal, make sure we do it within balance, that we don't force it, that we don't produce what we believe that it should be. That's one of the beauties of being Elven. It doesn't matter whether you're religious or not religious, whether you're Christian or Jewish or Muslim or pagan. An elf is an elf. Alright, and we are here to help heal and to create paradise on earth. Alright. Alright, as elves, we are the stewards of the world, or of Arda. We are co-creators with Eru, with God. Alright, it is our task to heal the world that is marred, to bring out her true beauty, and to add magic to earth, to bring magic back, so to speak. Alright, through our unending love of the earth. Okay, the world has shown that in just a few weeks of man hiding in their homes, that it can begin to heal from the toxicity of man's creation. Okay, this is the time when the elves can reawaken all the more and continue the healing process. So if anything, that's what elves are. We don't have to have pointed ears. We can dress medieval or not. Alright, you can dress in a suit or dress in a suit of armor. It's up to you. But what we are is we are here as companions of Eru, and we are here to co-create and to realize Arda healed, to realize the earth healed, and to use the gifts, the special gifts that we were given by God to help bring that back into being again and to bring beauty back into the world. Alright, so that's it. You can take a look at the description below if you'd like to go take a look at the school. And other than that, I will be coming out with this. So this is the Elven Living series. I will be now producing more videos of this about what elves can do, what we can do to help heal the world, heal ourselves and our family. Alright, all of you have a most blessed rest of the day. Namaste.